Hey, welcome everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Power App series. This is my YouTube channel with 3,000 subscribers and 362 videos. I create a lot of different type of playlists that is not limited to Learning Dutch, but also ChatGPT, Scrum, data trends. So my current video is one of the video inside the data trends 2022-2023. Well, it's regarding Power Apps today. In my previous Power Apps video, I was, and that video is not this
Do you
one.
want to mine crypto but are tired of not knowing how? How does it work? With easy mining,
Okay, that video was, it was regarding the, yeah, this one. This was the Power Apps video where I showcased yeah, it's like how to enter data with the help of a form, and then the data tables. I didn't showcase the uh, galleries, but then I used only the data tables. And the data tables, you can sort the data in ascending order, descending order, but you cannot edit it. So that is the drawback of data table. Sorry. But in today's video, I will be showcasing not only data table, but I have created a sample view I have created samples for non-editable gallery as well as editable gallery with modern tools. So without further ado, let's begin. Okay, so I have my notes, and just before I start, I want to explain a little bit how the Power Apps architecture is from a data point of view. For example, like in Power Apps, data entry is not a problem, because data entry we have these forms, and these forms can be means you can start with a blank screen, and then in this screen you can enter, or you can add a edit form, and then you will get you can do whatever you want, whatever fields you want to add for editing, etc, etc. You can do a lot of things for data entry, but the intelligence comes with creating a data model, and then showcasing the data for view perspective. Like I have connected my data to this SharePoint list, and in this SharePoint list the data is there, and if I create a data table, like what I have done is that I have added a blank screen in the Power Apps, and in the blank screen there I have inserted a data table which can be inserted from here. That is, if you type data table, you can insert the data here. Okay, so after I inserted the data table, then I have sorted the data based on the date column in descending order. So this is the date column, and in descending order when I arrange, so there is anomaly here, but then please ignore this, because the data was not in right format. If I play, so I can already see the data in ascending order like this. Okay, because this data was in string, so I didn't sort it, but then I will correct it later. But this is how it sorted the data in descending order. So this is the and the demerit of the data table is that it brings all the columns which are not needed, which, but then you can edit it. For now, this is the whole capacity of a data table. Data table has limited capacity, so I will not go into the details. It is for you to explore more, and there are a lot of you can in YouTube there are a lot of videos, people who talk about data table, etc, etc. Okay, one thing, guys, I follow this Reza Dorani a lot, so you can go to his videos and see. All the credit goes to him, because of him the knowledge that I have gained is because of these guys. So I follow this guy a lot, and there he goes into the details of how to create Power Apps, how to create advanced Power Apps. Okay, now let's start with the gallery part. First, I will showcase, because here, suppose I want to apply the CRUD technique. The CRUD technique is in my notes. I have defined the CRUD technique. The CRUD technique is create, replace, update, and delete. So there, I cannot do the CRUD technique in data table, or it is very complicated to do that. So first, I have For that the gallery comes into play. But then first I will, if I will try to insert a gallery, then I will come across these many different types of gallery. And you can build the gallery in such a way that it is editable. Means you can edit, really you can edit this data. So if you edit and save it, then it will make changes in the SharePoint list as well. So first I will showcase the non-editable gallery video or part. Then I will show you guys how to create an editable gallery. uh, for creating a non-editable gallery, what I did was that I created a new screen, and I used this header, main section, and footer, where the header and the footer are arranged in such a way that you don't have to do any settings there. So this is a already a facility that is provided by powerapps. So I created this. Then it gives me something like this: a screen container in vertical order, and then the horizontal containers. Because here you see the horizontal containers looks like this, and the main section container, sorry, looks like this. In the horizontal container I have the label. So I added one label, that is the test app. And then I have align the center, then it's start, and then all other settings that I have done here. So there's an easy peasy one. So there is the header. Now the main section container comes into play, where I have so then in power apps, the good thing is that you can have nested container. Means the concept of nested container, where inside a container you create another container. Like for example, inside this container, inside this horizontal container, as you can see the horizontal container, I have created a vertical container of the same. Means it occupies, it's stretch, it occupies the same dimension of the vertical, or the main section container. And then there I have made it visible, and the extra settings that I have done here. I have the gallery container. Inside the gallery container, there are two parts. One is the one is the header here, and then is the space occupied by the gallery. The header is a horizontal container, and there it's a stretch aligned in the center, and then the other necessary settings I have done here. Inside it, I have applied the labels, and to each label is just a text. I have not named it, but then I can name it like ABC. I can change this one. So this is the formula bar, and here I have a lot of components. In the components, I can choose text and bring the header here. And there I can assign the label, and there I have a container. This one I will come later. Will come later, but for now, let's discuss about the gallery. I have added a gallery, and how you can insert a gallery. It is from here you can insert, yeah, a gallery. I have added a blank vertical gallery here. Okay, after adding the gallery, I have added a container inside it, and the gallery contains the data of the SharePoint list. And there I have brought in the specified columns here. But I have added a container here, and inside the container I have added all the labels. Don't go into this one because this is already center aligned. And then I have added the labels here. But then I did a container because the container would have the width of the container would have occupied. So let me just stretch it. It's a wrap, and start, and yeah. What I did is that I after adding after adding the gallery, then I added a container inside the gallery, and then the container was still here. The space of the container was still here. Then I squeezed everything, and that is how this looks comes into play. It's like a horizontal Excel view that comes for visualization like this. This is really cool, huh? And there I added all the labels like this, and this is how I got this view. But this container is sorry, yeah, but this container is of no use now. So let me just, but this is how the nested container concept comes into play, where you add a container inside the container, and then a gallery, and inside the gallery you create this view that you are seeing. This view you are seeing like this. But then, okay, so that is the whole point of showing you the non-editable gallery. But the main knowledge lies in creating an editable gallery, because you need to, sometimes if the data entry is wrong, and you need to change this data on an there itself by searching the data. So then, this is how the power of the editable gallery comes into play. But to create a editable gallery, one needs to do a lot of settings. First, you have to activate, you have to come here, sorry, and then you have to switch on, the modern tools features, which is, let me scroll down. Yeah, this one. This feature you have to switch it on. Generally, by default, it is switched off, but you have to switch it on, and this gives you access to, by switching it on. Then in the insert, there are two modules, and this is where you get access to this one. So this is very important, and this will help you in creating this editable gallery feature. Also, in the setting, you have to change the display, and the display you have to scale to fit. So this the advantage, and this one you have to switch it off. By default, it is switched on, but you have to switch it off. The advantage is that if I switch this one, then the screen automatically adjusts, fits itself to the screen. Yeah. So that those are the two settings one has to do. After that, then, for creating an editable gallery, just bring in a gallery. There, you don't have to create a nested container. Just bring in the gallery first, and then inside the gallery, one has to create this text. Means one has to insert inside this gallery the, the text input. So the text input one has to insert first. After inserting the text inputs like this, then you have to change the value to this item dot the column name of your desired column name that you want to showcase here. So you have to bring in the column names like I have done here, and then these three four columns are of text field, so that's why I have inserted the text input. But the fifth column is a date picker, so I have brought in the date format column, a date format component here, and there with the date format component, the value that I have assigned is this item dot date. That's it. So this is the feature that you have to, this is the thing that you have to bring in, and then it creates something like this kind of view for you, which is voila, which is a big achievement in itself only. Then I have created this button, but this button is not needed here. I will not go into the details, but yeah, I will come to details later for this one. For example, if then I have created an icon here, that is the delete icon, and this delete icon is created based on uh, this command, that is the remove this item set varset. Varset is a function which I have created in the gallery, and here is the uh, so then yeah, this is how it looks. But sometimes Power App goes into haywire mode, so the formatting part disappears. But this is how it looks, and the delete icon is created by yeah. You can add a icon here, like this is the trash icon I have added here, and then here you can already click on. Sorry, this is the, yeah. Yeah, from here also you can add the icons like the trash icon which was there here. Emojis one can also add. Is a good feature, huh? And then yeah, yeah, refresh one. It means anything you can create from here. That is okay. That is the purpose of showing you this. So I have created the icon, and then here I have, this is the code that needs to be used for the for the remove icon. And then yeah, to make it okay. Um then if I have created this text inputs, but then if I want to create a change, if I want to edit something and then make that edit appear in the SharePoint list, then yeah, this is a kind of a big code that needs to be patched. The column grid updates is a function, and that function holds the changes that you make. Suppose I make a change here, the column grid updates holds those changes. And let me show you where the column grid update shows the changes. Mm, yeah, this one. So here is the creation of column grid updates, and this is the formula that needs to be added. For example, if it is the column grid updates, if there is nothing, if there is nothing, then yeah, collect all the and means if the data is not, suppose this row is not non-existing, and if there are two things that I'm doing. One is insert and one is upsert. Upsert means if the row is already existing and I made one change in this field, so that is an upsert. Means the data is there, but then I have to update and insert into the main table. So the update and insert is done here, and update if column grid updates id is this, and then bring in the changes in value changes into these tables, into these columns. This is the column from the SharePoint list, and this is the fleet means this is the text input name, and I am making the changes in the text input name, and so it is overwriting in the fleet number, the SharePoint. That is the upsert. And if it is a new if it's a new table, if it's a new, then yeah, just collect and paste it in the SharePoint list. So that is what it is doing in the in this on call grid updates. And the call grid updates, not this one. This icon is for the refreshing, and this is the command for the refreshing. Var reset is already uh, added as a variable here. So this is where I am I'm adding the var reset, and I'm adding the var reset here in this table, here in this formula, and as well as the drop down feature. So one can in the filter command or in the power apps, one can insert multiple conditions in one filter command. So this is the idea of showing both, because this view is getting operated with not only with the drop down, but also with the var reset. And then info button I created. Okay, okay, that is not needed to explain. Button canvas to the patching one, because whenever I make a change, then yeah, all the data is being stored in the column grid updates, and the column grid updates one can find in the collections. And here now it is 0 rows because I didn't change anything. Let me change something now. Let me change to S and save it. This is showing me a notification, and then close. Let me go back. Let me mm, let me refresh so that it appears as one there because I made a change. Take some time. If I go here in the variables, collections, okay, this has, okay, it has cleared because in the save button I have already mentioned that not only it will also clear, okay, it will also clear the grid updates. So that's why it is showing 0. But then if it is and if I remove this one, then it will not show anyone. It will show as 1 there because I made a change there. Okay, now technical field supports. It also appears here. Let us see that, because for sure it will appear here. And you see here there is a S appearing here. Technical field supports. So that is how you make it as editable, so that this text input from here from the modern tools makes it editable, and then you can save it through patching it. And the formula is this one. If you want the details of this formula, then you can comment, and then I'll share these formulas with you. One can also add new records, and this is a cool feature that I came to know in power apps. And on select, then you have to write just this formula there, that if you want to add a new formula, then this is the formula that you have to write. That's it, for adding a new record. Then you can already add a new record, and that record will appear in the SharePoint list. So delete, new record, save, refreshing, and then sorting also. For sorting is also a cool feature, where we can go here and check what is the formula being used. On change, no. On select, on select. Okay, so what I did is that I created a drop down. Drop down can be inserted from here. Drop down, I created drop down. Rather than applying a complex formulas, what I did, after adding this one here, in the item I added the source name, and the value is the fleet number that this is the fleet number column. I added it here. After adding it here, then I said, if I now I have a feature like I can select multiple fleet numbers. When I will select this one should change. To make these changes, I have to change in the gallery. Then in the gallery, what I had did is that I have said that if the column fleet number means only filter, if it is blank, it will show everything. But then along with var reset, that the variable uh, showcase in this view, column fleet number is equal to the drop down dot selected a fleet number. This is what I am, and ascend and sort in the ascending order. This is what I am telling to do. And in this view, you can see only the details of this one. And here you can come and make the changes, and it will, and just press the save button, it will show there. So this is what I wanted to share in detail. One can see also, but the overall idea is that I wanted to share information about the overall things that one can do. One can create a star schema. One can, in the SharePoint list, then bring in the form here, make the changes, and in the view you can make an editable gallery, because here I can edit. I can apply the full CRUD technique, that is create, replace, update, and delete. Although this is not, the formatting is not done in a good way, but then this is the knowledge that I wanted to share by doing a showcasing a small like a sample test project. And this is how one can create different things. This is cool, huh? And this is being used in many of the companies. So it's better to learn this power app, because these techniques are very handy, and many companies are already in the subscribe to Office 365. So in a way, as a business analyst or a data engineer or a data analyst, you can support the company in by creating this kind of apps. And these apps are really handy when you have a big team, and then you need to coordinate between different organizations or with different business units. These apps really is supportive towards the people who are technically less advanced. They can and they can have a tab or a mobile. They can already start entering the data or editing it, and you already get a data set where you can use it in the Power BI report because you can directly connect to the SharePoint list. Okay. One of the important questions that everyone asks me is how to create a backup. Suppose if someone is changing the company, then one needs to create a backup of all its works, then import it to the next company, because these backups are really helpful, because it saves a lot of time, because you don't have to recreate everything that you recreated. So what I do is that I go to my app which I was working, and then I export the package. And by exporting the package, I do some minor changes there. For example, I will name it as power app editable. And then here I don't want, because in the new place, or in the new Azure Active Directory, there will not be a existing app, so I want to create is a new, because it will be a new app in that Active Directory. And here also I will create it as new, and then make an export. This export, it will create a zip folder in my download environment, in my download folder. And it will take 2 seconds to create a download. As you can see, already it has downloaded. Now in the new environment, I want to import it again. So here you can see in the apps, here you can already see it allows me to import a Canvas app. And here in the Canvas app, I will give reference to this app. And then if I click open, then it already starts uploading. And then it will it will just ask you some more settings, then you have to click, and then it is already done. It will create, like you can see, if I click on import, it will create the same app environment that I was working on. So this is easy peasy, and I hope you enjoyed, guys, the whole video. Okay, we'll see each other in the next video. Till then,